competitions. I'm a public school parent with a totally different approach. I support term limits, and I want parents back involved in the classroom.
Track severe weather. Download the Local 3 Weather app now.
We love segments that make us feel young, and this morning we are going to feel young at heart, and so are you, because we're so happy to have Dutch McGrath on the show. He is the owner of Sir Goony's Fun Zone. If you've ever wondered who was the man behind the magic, you get to meet him today. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, Julie.
Sir Goony's was kind of a go-to place for us when our kids were younger, and I will confess to you, Dutch, that I thought, well, they've kind of aged out. I was so wrong. I had no idea what kind of treasures you had back there at Sir Goony's. You're always coming up with something new.
Thank you. Yes, we are. We actually use that facility as the prototype for our manufacturing company that builds unique products that go around the world.
So what that means for us here in Chattanooga, North Georgia, the surrounding area, is that when you come to Sir Goony's and you're taking advantage of all the things you'll hear about today, you're among the first in the country to test it, right?
First in the world.
First in the world to test it. Okay, so my daughters are 17 and 23. I'm not too far removed from their childhoods to forget the fun of Mario Kart. That was a great escape for them. You've got it there at Sir Goony's. You have for a while, but this season you've added on something new.
To be more specific, we have a gamification of our go-kart race. The actual go-karts that you get in and ride around the track has been gamified with something called Power Up. And Power Up, like Mario Karting, has things on the track that you can run over to get speed, actually add incremental speed. You have things that if you're going to the wrong area will slow you down. It keeps you safe, but it also gives you a penalty for doing it. And then you can win Power-Ups. And the Power-Ups are features like Turbo that'll give you 20% more speed so you can pass people easily. You have features like a bomb, which slows one kart, or you have a turtle mode that slows everybody on the track. And of course, one of the features, like Mario, is you can get a shield to prevent you from slowing down. And this year it's actually pointified. So at the end of the race, you'll actually look on a scoreboard and you'll see the score based on how much speed you won or avoided losing, and the one with the high points wins.
This is the perfect time for us to be talking because it's spring break season right now. So for families that are staying home and enjoying their own hometown, what a great hangout spot to really spend the whole day at Sir Goony's. You can do it.
We've got a lot of things there. Yeah.
You said you get a kick out of watching families when they're doing this because you've got 14 lanes on the go-kart track. So a family of 4 or 6 can compete, and the dads might get in there cockily thinking they're going to win, but they very seldom do. Their kids know how to maneuver.
Yeah, the kids have all the practice. They understand the tactics, if you will, of how to play a Mario Karting game when you're trying to avoid what you're trying to win. And it's very interesting. When we first turned on the points this last fall, a young boy came in and shoved his hand in his ear, and I won! And normally that's kind of just a bragging right thing. And then I looked up on the scoreboard and sure enough, he'd won. Now he probably saw it because he kept passing people, so he felt like that. But it was actually pointified, and sure enough, he had high point on the board and beat his dad badly. And Dad, who didn't quite understand what Mario Karting, or Power Up Karting as we call it is, didn't know how to make it work.
He'll learn, he'll learn. Okay, so then you've got these bumper cars. You've had those for a while, but I didn't know that they did all that they did. So some people might know that they spin. Now you have ones that flip. What is that?
Yeah, we actually have 2 cars. We have one that's called a spin zone that has 2 targets on it that you hit it at the 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock position. It'll make the customer spin. We have the most exotic bumper car in the world called a flip zone, which you actually have a vertical seat you sit in that will rotate vertically as well as spin horizontally, and we call it the flip zone. And this year we have them combined into one arena. So you have the spin zones for the a little bit more timid at heart, and the flip zones that really want the most wild bumper car ride in the world.
Yeah, because my stomach is turning just looking at that video. I'm not sure I could do that one.
You know, it's interesting. You hear that all the time, and that's one of the reasons we combined it. Because we had 2 separate arenas, and we always had the people that say, well, I don't think I want to get on that because I'll get sick. You don't, but until you ride it, you wouldn't know that. It's a very smooth ride. Yeah. Ironically, at every place we put this, in the other places around the country, the first cars filled to the flip zones. They always want the exotic ride first, even though they might have felt a little timid. So combining it, we hope, will encourage people to get out there and have a little more fun. Okay,
but true fact, I think I've been told that vanilla ice cream is still the most popular flavor of ice cream. Putt-putt golf, which you began as with putt-putt golf, never goes out of style. It's just a fun thing to go do.
Yes, this is our 61st year. My dad started Sir Goony's here in Chattanooga. Second generation. My mother was a graphic artist, and she was the one that designed the shape of the dinosaurs.
Kidding.
Yeah. And then my grandfather was an engineer who designed the ways to structurally build it back in 1960. So we still have that today, and it's still one of our most popular attractions.
So we can blame him for the fact that on hole number 4, we can't figure out how to maneuver the ball to get a hole-in-one. Your grandfather designed it?
Well, he designed the figures. I'm the one that designed the holes.
Really?
So I'm the one to blame for how to make it difficult to putt or easier to putt. But he was the one that made all the interesting figures functionally able to work.
So fun. Okay, so you are open 12 months of the year. In the wintertime, you're kind of weekends only. But on a really hot day, the arcade area inside becomes popular for people to go and cool off. You've got virtual reality in there, don't you?
Yeah, it's one of the new features we've added. Some about a year ago, right at the end of COVID. The other one is new this year. They have the stand-up version is called Arcadia, and there's about 6 different games you can play. Some are more suited to little kids, some are for your more advanced gamers, and they're more shooting games, though some of them, one you throw snowballs, which is kind of neat for the little guys. You look like little teddy bears and you throw snowballs at each other.
Cute.
The other ones you look like soldiers in a space-bound military and you're shooting to save the world or whatever. They're mostly, those games are what's called player versus player, which means when I'm in there, we'll have typed in the name. So when you get shot like I do by my granddaughter, it'll say shot by Chloe, and in her headset it'll say you shot Poppy. So she'll get really excited because you're an avatar. You're not your look. You're looking at some character like a big sea bandit with a skull face or whatever.
So you would know.
So you wouldn't know until it tells you what it is. And of course, it's a lot of fun for my granddaughter to shoot me in the game. So that's pretty fun.
And then she jokes about it the whole way home.
And we added a new racing game this year called Kong, like King Kong. That's also a VR. That's more of a 2-player game, a little bit less expensive. So now you have both the shooting games in one arena and the racing game in another.
I've got a couple of minutes left. What is Laser Fury 360? What is that?
That is another unique, patented and award-winning, worldwide award-winning from something called IAPA game, where it is a laser shooting vehicle. It has similarities to our flip zone, and it rotates in 360 in every direction, but you're using that as a mechanism to aim at targets on other cars, targets on the wall, and targets even on the ceiling. So you can shoot straight overhead. Of course, when you're shooting overhead, your opponent will shoot you and put you into a motion, which takes you out of the game temporarily. So it's kind of basically laser tanks, that's what we call it. And it was developed by Amusement Products, and it is in Chattanooga, one of the few places in the world.
It is just such a fun place to be because it is, to me, this little tucked away nook. Everyone knows you're there, but you come in thinking you're going to see one thing, and you're excited and surprised by all that there is to offer, but you feel like you've been transported back in time to what fun zones and amusement parks used to be. So do people get tickets online, or just they show up at the door and buy as they go?
In about 60 days, we will have online the ability to buy some tickets in advance, as well as schedule your birthday parties. Currently, you can schedule birthday parties, but you have to buy the tickets or attractions on site. But we're about to upgrade our point of sale to a new system.
Okay, so they're open 7 days a week now. Your spring break plans are now complete. Thank you, Dutch McGrath. You can find out more by going to sirgoonies.com. Their phone number on East Brainerd Road is 892-5922. Just show up once, show up 4 times, and make your spring and your summer very, very fun. Thanks again.
Thank you, Julie. Appreciate it.
Recent injury keeping you from getting out? Mobility at Home sells and rents wheelchair ramps so you can get your freedom back. We also have a wide variety of scooters to fit your needs, compact and transportable. Mobility at Home.